My father passed away. The family business was supposed to go to me because, well, let's be honest. I'm the most fit for it. I went to work every day with my dad to learn the ins and outs of the family business. So imagine my shock when my brother, who by the way plays video games and eats hot Cheetos all day, gets the company instead of me. All because he's the male of the house now that father's gone, and grandpa is just saying that I'm not getting anything. He's demanding that it goes to him because he's the boy and I'm the girl. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna be okay with that, Grandpa. Sometimes, no matter how much one progresses in their life, their thinking stays stuck in the past. Hello everyone, my name's Mia and I come from the Miller family, one of the wealthiest families in our town. Our family business deals with modern technology, but despite our technological advancements, we hold tightly to a traditional value and belief, or at least my grandparents do. You see, our family consists of my brother Daniel, our mother, our grandparents, and me. My father passed away 2 years ago due to brain cancer, leaving a void in our family and an even bigger void in our business. You see, my dad was amazing. I realized that everyone's dad is, but mine was the hero of our family. He was 100 years ahead of his time and had a knack for implementing his brilliant ideas for advancing modern technology. He is the sole reason for our company's success, and sure, it was my grandfather who started the company, but it was my father who made it what it is today. I remember him sitting at his desk surrounded by papers and charts, looking all serious, but also kind of calm, cool, collect. Wow. One thing I really loved about my father was how he always just made time for me and my brother, absolutely no matter what. No matter how busy he was at all. Well, he was always there for us, and I personally spent more time with him because, like him, I took a big liking to technology. At a very early age, I was right there, by his side, learning everything I could from him. I remember one summer when I was about 10 years old, I would guess. Instead of going to summer camp like all my buddies, I spent my days at the office with Dad. At first, I wasn't sure if I would like it. Who wants to spend their summer doing work? But as soon as I walked through the doors of our family's business, I knew I was in for something special. My dad was so excited to have me there with him, and he made sure to include me in everything. He would take me to meetings with clients where I would sit quietly and listen as he discussed the business strat and negotiations. I didn't understand everything that was going on, but just being there with my father made me feel important and grown up. As I got older, my dad started giving me more responsibilities at the office. The best part was, when my dad would let me sit in on the meetings with his team, I would listen intently as they discussed new projects and ideas, soaking up every bit of information like a sponge. My dad was also so patient with me, answering questions and encouraging me to share my thoughts and opinions. He taught me so much about business, and it's because of him that I'm able to help my grandfather with business after he's gone. Yep, help my grandfather not handle it. It's not because I'm too young to handle the company, but because I'm supposed to. Let me explain. My grandparents were from a different time, a time when traditional values and beliefs, they held sway, right? They were kind and loving, but they also had some old-fashioned ideas about gender roles and family inheritance. To them, it was unthinkable that a girl could inherit the family business. In their eyes, it was always the son who was the rightful heir. So, the one destined to carry on the family legacy, and growing up I saw firsthand how deeply ingrained these beliefs were in my grandparents. Well, they would often talk about how important it was for my brother Daniel to learn the ins and outs of the family business, as he was the one who would eventually take over. It didn't matter that I was just as capable, if not more, so that Daniel went in and can understand the complexities of our business in their eyes. I was just simply a girl, destined for a different path in life. The worst part was that my brother Daniel wasn't into business or technology like me. He liked playing video games and hanging out with friends more. When he had to go work with Dad, he wasn't happy about it, and he struggled to understand things. And sometimes it felt like he just didn't care. I wouldn't say that Daniel was unintelligent. He definitely didn't have the same knack for business that I do, but I didn't mind helping Daniel. It was just frustrating. I knew I could do a better job, but nobody seemed to notice. It didn't seem unfair that Daniel got all the attention just because he was a boy. And despite everything, I tried to be patient. Daniel was my brother, after all, and I loved him, but it was hard watching him struggle when I knew that I could help him if given the chance. I knew my grandparents meant well, but their old-fashioned ideas about boys and girls were holding us back. It was frustrating to see how much potential our family had, but we were stuck because of our outdated belief. I wanted to prove to everyone that I was just as capable as any boy. I wanted to show them that girls can do anything boys could do, and maybe even better. But I didn't want to fight them because of it, and beside everything, I loved them all very much. For the time being, I contented myself with helping my grandfather, making sure to take care of my father's hard work and legacy. However, no matter how hard I tried, I could not help but resent Daniel a bit. I didn't want to feel this way. I loved him. And growing up, Daniel was not only my brother, but also my confidant and my closest friend. Despite our differences, I loved him with all my heart. It wasn't that I wanted to take his place or steal the spotlight from him, no. All I wanted was to be recognized for my own talents and contributions to our family business. I wonder why it was so hard. However, despite my growing resentment, I never let it show. I kept my feelings bottled up inside, unwilling to rock the boat or cause any trouble within our family. That is, until one day when I noticed something strange happening in the family business. At first, I tried to brush it off, convincing myself that it was just a simple mistake or an oversight. But as the discrepancies continued to grow, I knew I could not ignore them any longer. I had to find out what was going on. So I delved into the financial records with a determination bordering on obsession. I combed through every transaction and every entry, searching for any hint of wrongdoing, and what I found shook me to the core. My brother, Daniel, the golden boy of our family, was secretly siphoning money from the family business for his own gain. At first, I couldn't believe it. How could my own brother betray our family like that? But the evidence was undeniable, and staring me right in the face like a slap. I still wanted to give my brother the benefit of the doubt, so I confronted him, steeling myself for the inevitable confrontation. I know that it wasn't easy, confronting my own brother like that, but I knew I had to do it for the sake of our family and our business. However, instead of admitting his wrongdoing, he denied everything, accusing me of being jealous and vindictive. It was like a punch to the gut, watching him lie through his teeth without a shred of remorse, and I'm not about to let him get away with it. Our father had worked too hard and sacrificed too much to let him destroy everything that he built. I just don't know how to tell my family about it. I know they all love me, but what if they didn't believe me and simply accuse me of being jealous? I never wanted things to come to this. What should I do? Update number 1. Hello everyone, I hope you all have had a better week than I did. I couldn't sleep for days after I learned about my brother's betrayal. I knew he loved our family as much as I did, so what could have pushed him to take such a step? I was worried. What if he was in trouble and wasn't able to share it with us? Before I begin to recollect my week, I would like to thank you all for your kind comments. They gave me immense support in this tough time. Thank you for your suggestions, and I too think that I should share this with my family. But I wish it wasn't this easy. See, I cannot be careless about the situation, but one way or the other, I will let them know. They deserve to know the truth, and for those of you who feel like I'm seeking drama, trust me, this is not about stirring up trouble or seeking attention. It's about standing up for what's right, even when it's tough. As for the whole jealousy thing, I can assure you that it's not. Who wouldn't want to be accused of jealousy, right? It's like the ultimate compliment, but in all seriousness, I'm just trying to do what's best for my family and our business. And if that means ruffling a few of these feathers along the way, then so be it. So thanks for the advice, guys, but I think I'll stick to my guns on this one. Anyways, I was losing my mind wondering what could have pushed my brother to such an edge that he was ready to betray our family. So once again, I spent hours poring over the numbers, trying to make sense of the chaos, and it wasn't long before I stumbled upon a pattern. A series of transactions that seemed innocent enough at a first glance. But as I investigated further, I realized that something wasn't adding up. Daniel was taking money from the company, and large amounts of it, funneling it into his own accounts, but why? Everything was his anyways, so why did he feel the need to stack the money away in his private account? All the while investigating, I couldn't shake the feet. What'll happen after I uncover the truth? I know I'll need to tell the truth to the family. What if they just don't believe it? What if they thought that I was just trying to cause trouble, and that thought alone made me anxious? So, After researching for a long time, I realized the conclusion that the mystery itself was too much for me to uncover on my own. I knew I needed to tell someone, everyone. Well, I just needed their help if I wanted to know the truth, but I couldn't muster the courage. That's when I reached out to a friend of mine and I explained the situation to him, and he offered to help me. He works in the press, and I knew that he would have some good ideas about how to exactly handle the situation. He suggested that we release a story to the media about some financial problems in the company, making it vague enough that it doesn't directly implicate Daniel, but good enough that this will get the family's attention. I thought about it for a moment, considering the risks and benefits, and yes, it was risky, but it might just work. Over the next few days, Jake and I worked tirelessly to craft the perfect story. We made sure to include enough details to pique the family's interest, but not so much that it would directly point towards Daniel to harm the company's name in any sense. When the story finally came out, it caused a stir in town. People were talking about it everywhere. It's a small town after all, and everybody was busy speculating about what could be going on behind closed doors at our family business. My family members and the staff, instead of panicking, started looking into things themselves just as I hoped for. They wanted to know what was really going on, and they were determined to find out. It's a relief to know that our plan is working. I know it was only a matter of time before they uncover the truth about Daniel's betrayal. I wonder what'll happen then. Update number 2. Hey guys, it's been 2 weeks since my last update, and apparently it took 2 weeks for my family to investigate. Or maybe they discovered the truth way earlier, but like me, they didn't want to accept it. So let me tell you everything that happened since I last left off. So, the family had already started investigating, trying to get to the bottom of what was going on with the company's finances. They were digging through the numbers, trying to make sense of it all, and I helped them too by secretly planting the evidence pointing towards Daniel that I had found earlier. There was this fear. What if they didn't find anything? What if Daniel managed to cover his tracks, however it was too late to take a step back? Not that I wanted to, and my family deserved to learn the truth, so I just let them uncover the truth about my brother's betrayal. And then finally it happened. They found the evidence like me, and they found out that Daniel had been taking money from the company and putting it into his own private accounts. Yep, it was a lot of money, and they could not figure out why he would do something like that. To make matters worse, what also they found out, he had recently bought a house out of the country. I guess this must have been a recent purchase after I stopped investigating. The family searched high and low, trying to find out why Daniel would need so much money, and why he would also buy a house, but no matter how hard they looked, they couldn't find an answer. Once they found the truth, though, it was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, but at the same time I knew that the hard part was yet to come. Like me, they all wanted to give my brother the benefit of the doubt. Nobody wanted to believe that he had betrayed us, and when we all sat down to discuss what they had found, when the topic of Daniel's involvement came up, he denied everything. It was like a slap in the face watching him lie through his teeth like that. Can you believe it? After all the evidence they have, still had the nerve to lie to their faces? But I wasn't about to let him get away with it. Oh no, not me. When Daniel denied everything, I knew it was my moment to tell the truth. I gathered up all the evidence I collected and brought it to the meeting. And you know what else? I brought the realtor who helped Daniel buy the house too. When I laid out all the evidence for everybody to see, there was no denying the truth. Daniel's face went white as a sheet, and he knew that he had been caught red-handed. He even tried to deny it at first, but with all the evidence stacked against him, he could not deny it further. It turned out that he felt pressured into taking care of the business that he had no interest in. So he decided to take money and shift it to a different country, leaving everything, including us, behind him, and for now the cops have taken him under the charge of fraud. Rest is just depending on my grandparents and if they ever decide to make, charges for the rest of his life. Update number 3. Hey guys, I know, it's been quite some time since I've updated you. To be honest, it's been a year. A long year. Hey guys, the story I was sharing somewhat ended with my last update, however many of you wanted to know what happened to Daniel next. After Daniel's betrayal was exposed, the family was really disappointed in him. They couldn't believe that they had done something like that, betraying the trust of everybody, so they made sure that he faced consequences. He'd lost his important role in the family business and had to deal with the law for what he did. It was a tough time for all of us, especially for my grandpa. Daniel was, after all, his hope for our only family business. It was a blow to him, and he struggled to come to terms with what happened, but as the days went by, my grandfather started to see things differently. Now that there was no male figure, my father was a single child, left in the family at all to take over the business, he had no choice but to consider me. It wasn't easy for him to accept at first, but as he watched me work alongside him, he started to see that girls, too, could take care of business. Finally, the day came. My grandfather turned to me, asking me to take over the business, and it was a big moment for me, but I could not accept it. Yeah, there's one thing that I haven't shared with you guys yet. So, remember how I told you guys that it was my father's brain and hard work that made our family business what it is today? As much as it is the truth, it's also true that it was my mother's brilliance and innovation that helped our business make a name in the field of modern technology. She had a knack for seeing things from a different light and coming up with innovative solutions. I remember one time when my father and I were discussing plans for expanding the business, we were stuck on how to approach it when my mother joined the conversation. She listened for a while before suggesting a new approach. Her idea was brilliant. It ended up being the foundation for the successful expansion that followed. And then there were times where we were trying to come up with marketing strategies for a new product launch. We were at a loss for ideas until Mom stepped in. Looking back, I realized just how much my mother contributed to the success of our family's business. Her ideas were just as essential for the business's growth as my father's. It's just that she was never acknowledged by Grandpa. As you know, she's a woman, more suited to take care of the children in his view. So now that Grandfather's finally ready to see the truth and accept that girls can be equally deserving of the opportunity, it needs to start with the right person. My mother. So I decided to have a heart-to-heart with Gramps. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I had to make them see that Mom was just as capable of running the family business as any man. I promised them that I would be there just to support her every step of the way, and it was easier than I'd expected. It's been a year since my mother took charge of the family business. She was nervous at first, unsure if she was up to the task, but with me by her side supporting her every step of the way, she quickly found her footing. And let me tell you, she's been killing it. Everybody agrees now that I was right, that my mother was more capable of running the business with my support by her side. My mom has helped us reach new heights in our business this past year, and I'm proud of her. I just wish my dad could see it all, and I know he would be so proud of her, seeing how she carried on his legacy and took our family business to absolute new heights. But even though he's not here with us physically, I know he's watching over us, smiling down whenever he looks. This is my story. I hope you guys enjoyed the journey as much as I did, so once again, thank you for the engagement and support. Goodbye. Top comments from all the posts, including a hated comment. Comment number 1 says, "Hey Mia, I just wanted to drop you a line to say you're absolutely killing it with everything you've been through. Finding out about your brother, his shady dealings, must have been a real shocker. But instead of crumbling, you tackled it head-on like a boss. Seriously, I can't even imagine the number of late nights and caffeine-fueled sessions you must have gone through to try to crack that case. But what really blows me away is how you've handled things since then. That press plan without tarnishing your family's name? Genius. And when it was time to lay down the evidence, you did it with style. And now seeing you stand up for your mom and making sure she gets the recognition she deserves, it's heartwarming, man. Your commitment to honoring your dad's legacy by supporting your mom and taking over the business, it's seriously inspiring stuff. I'm so happy for you and your mom. All the best." Comment number 2 from Jack High, 1326 says, "Wow, Mia, just when I thought your story could not get any more dramatic, I mean, come on, your own brother embezzling money from the family business. That's some serious dysfunction right there. And then you go to manipulate the situation yourself by planting evidence and involving the press. Talk about stirring the pot. And now you're all over there patting yourself on the back for uncovering the truth and kicking your brother to the curb. It seems like a bit of a power trip, if you ask me. And don't even get me started on the whole letting your mom inherit the business thing. It's like you're trying to rewrite the family history to your own agenda. Sorry, I'm not buying it. This whole story is a soap opera, and I'm not here for your drama."